Not one, but three wines of the week this week, because it's the middle of December and many people will be thinking about a bottle or two of sparkling wine to celebrate the festive season. Now, as it happened, I had three sparkling wines on my tasting bench that were all really quite unusual in different ways, so I thought it would be a really nice idea to gather them together as this little bit of a Christmas fizz special. We're starting over here on the left-hand side with the Torres of Spain. Have a winery in Chile, and they've had it for many years, and they bring their Chilean wines, most of them under the Santa Digna label, into the UK, but this is a brand new product for them. This is the Torres Santa Digna Estelado Rosé 2011. It sells for about £12.49 in a variety of independent merchants. I'll put the list at the end of this video. What makes the wine particularly unusual is that it is made from 100% of the Pais grape. Now, Pais is actually quite a big, well-planted grape in Chile, but we don't see it bottled as a wine because it tends to be made for the local market as cheap, fairly rough and ready, fairly dilute wine from these high-yielding Pais grapes. But here, Torres have treated the vineyards a bit more sympathetically and have created this sparkling wine from the Pais, thinking it is a good base grape for making a wine in this traditional style with secondary fermentation in the bottle. So this is the wine. It has a nice pale, kind of light cherry pink colour, nice small bubbles on the nose. That's interesting. It's kind of strawberry-ish and raspberry-ish, lots of those red fruit characters, a tiny hint of the yeastiness from the second fermentation, but really quite bright, quite focused. On the palate, and again, it's interesting, it's kind of a midway point between a Prosecco and a Rosé Champagne, this wine. It doesn't have a lot of the toasty development of sparkling champagne style wines, but it does have the brightness, that kind of icing sugar, raspberry, cherry brightness of some of the good Proseccos. Just a little bit extra depth, a little bit extra mouthfeel here, but staying very sharp, very aperitif friendly. And I think it's a very nice wine. The second wine in the lineup is a champagne, and it comes from a very well-known house of Cannavan, but again, it's a new product for them. It's the authentic green champagne. 100% organic, organically certified grapes in this, selling for £30 a bottle in odd bins and in independent merchants. The other thing I suppose that's a little bit unusual about this, apart from being organic, we don't see so many, is that it has 40% of the Pinot Meunier grape in the blend, quite a high percentage, along with 50% Chardonnay and 10% Pinot Noir. Nice colour, a little bit of gold to the kind of yellow-green, very small, steady bubbles rising from the centre. And a lovely nose, kind of baked apples, tarte tatin nose, lots of apple, lots of pastry, really very appealing in the mouth. Initially has a broader, certainly, but also a sweeter attack than the first wine. Lots of fruit sweetness here, lots of juiciness. Again, that brioche and baked apple comes through, very ripe pear. But finishing with lovely clarity, lovely acidity. A nice wine. I think this is one to serve as an aperitif again for sure, but also to match with fish and lighter dishes, canapes as you start your Christmas or New Year party perhaps. Very nice wine, the Cannavan Authentic Green Champagne. And finishing with the third of our unusual sparklers, well, the wine is from Nye Timber, nothing unusual in that. Nye Timber, a big favourite around here and one of the wineries in England that really put sparkling wine quality on the map. But this is a brand new product for them because it's a demi-sec. That means a half-sweet champagne or half-dry champagne. This one, 100% Chardonnay, selling for about £34 in Harrods and in independent merchants. So, demi-sec from England with lovely, clean, bright, light gold colour, very nice small bubbles. And oh, the nose is lovely, all kind of bruised apples, bruised pear, very authentic traditional method nose here. A little bit of nettle, a little bit of the English countryside in this glass, along with lots of apple. A little bit of citrus too, and on the palate, it doesn't give away that it's going to be sweet. 45 grams of residual sugar in this wine, as opposed to maybe 8, 9, 10, 11 in one of these Brut wines. On the mouth, that's lovely. A lot of these demi-sec champagnes, I find, don't quite marry up the sweetness with the acidity. They're a bit of a jarring sensation, but not here. That initial sweetness is there. It's lovely, sweet-edged orchard fruits. But then it moves very seamlessly through to a really quite sharp, lemony, broad-based but lemony finish with lots of life and lots of spark about it. And finishing really quite elegantly and finishing dry. I think it's a really intelligently made demi-sec, fantastic aperitif, but would also match with lighter fruit-based desserts extremely well. Might even try this with dark chocolate in that contrasting theory of the sweetness, the lightness, the light bubbles against the bitter sweetness of the chocolate. So, a very interesting range of 3 unusual sparkling wines for Christmas. We have the Santa Digna Estelado Rosé 2011 from Chile, selling for £12.49 in independent merchants. We have the Cannavan Champagne Authentic Green, selling for £30 a bottle in odd bins and in independent merchants. And finally, we have Nye Timber from England with their demi-sec sparkling wine, £34 in Harrods and in independent merchants. 3 excellent, unusual fizzes. I hope you enjoy 1 or 2 of them. My wines of the week.